Okay, take a look at this next problem. It says here, Anne has 8 unmarked computer disks in a box, where each is dedicated to exactly one of English, Spanish, French, mathematics, computer science, biology, SAT preparation, and American history. If she chooses a computer disk at random, what is the probability that she chooses a biology disk? And what is the probability that she chooses a disk that is neither biology nor English? Okay, let's start with this problem right here. What's the probability that she chooses a biology disk? Well, there's only one biology disk out of the 8 unmarked computer disks, so the probability of choosing a biology disk would just simply be 1 over 8. And then the next one was the probability that she chooses a disk that is neither biology nor English. Well, for the biology disk, its probability is 1/8. And for English, its probability is also 1 over 8. Okay, so if you add 1/8 and 1/8 together, you're going to get 2/8. And then this is where we can use the complementary events, neither biology nor English. So that probability will be just simply 1 minus the sum of those two probabilities. 1/8 and 1/8 will be 2/8. So it'll be 1 minus 2/8, which will be 6/8 or 3/4. So the probability of Anne choosing neither the biology nor the English computer disk will be simply 3/4. Okay, on to the next problem. This is number 5. According to the weather report, there is a 25% chance it will rain on tomorrow. What is the probability that it will not rain tomorrow? Okay, well, the probability that it will rain on tomorrow is 25%. Now, we're going to write 25% as a decimal, which is 0.25. And then from that, we can find out what the probability that it will not rain. And that's a complementary event also. So that's going to be 1 minus the probability that it will rain, which is 0.25. And then if we subtract 0.25 from one whole, you'll have 0.75. So the probability that it will not rain on tomorrow, and of course on the MyMathLab homework you'll be required to type in the decimal answer for this particular problem, will be 0.75. Okay, let's take a look at number 6. Where it says that Sentinel High School was found to have the number of students listed below. And here's the chart with the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior class and their numbers listed. And let's say one student is chosen from the school. What is the probability that the chosen student is a senior? Okay. And this is going to be written as a fraction. Hopefully we can write it in its simplest form. In this case here, we're finding the probability that the person chosen is a senior. So there are 457 seniors. So that'd be 457 over the total number of students in this particular class. And I think in this case it's going to be 2,000. So in this case it'll be 457 over 2,000. Okay. And this is going to be a fraction. It's already in simplest form, so that's as far as we can go with that particular problem. Okay, now problem number 7 is this. If A and B are mutually exclusive events, and if the probability of A is 0.5 and the probability of B is 0.3, what is the probability of A or B? Now, of course, mutually exclusive events means that A and B have nothing in common. And there is a rule that says if we have mutually exclusive events and we want to find the probability, we just simply add the two individual probabilities together for A and B. So here the probability of A was 0.5 plus the probability of B, which was 0.3. We just simply add 0.5 and 0.3 together, you'll get 0.8. So the probability of A or B in this case will just simply be 0.8. Okay. And finally, number 8. In this case here, we got 70 men and 50 women are enrolled in calculus. There are 20 business majors, 40 biology majors, 25 computer science majors, and 35 mathematics majors. No person has a double major. If a single calculus student is chosen, find the following probabilities. Let's say we want to find a probability that the student is male. Well, there are 70 men, and the total is 120. So here, the probability for a male would be 70 over 120, and if we reduce that, it'll be 7 over 12. Okay. All right, the next problem is finding the probability that the student is a biology major. Now, we already know that there are 40 biology majors here in this particular problem, and there are 120 students altogether, so the probability of a biology major would be 40 over 120, which will be simply 1/3. All right, and then the next problem is find the probability that the student is not a business major. In this case here, we want to find the probability that the person is a business major. And from that, we know that there are 20 business majors out of 120. So that'll be 20 over 120, which is, in simplest form, 1/6. That's the probability of a business major. Now, for the probability that the student is not a business major, now it's a complementary event. That's just simply going to be 1 minus the probability of a business major, which is 1/6. So here we got 1 minus 1/6, which will simply be 5/6. Or another way you could have came up with that problem is, since we had 20 business majors, we can exclude that and just add the 40 biology majors, the 35 mathematics majors, and the 25 computer science majors. In that case, it would give you 100 over 120, which is 5 over 6. And then finally, find the probability that the student is a biology major or a business major. All right, we already know what the probability of a business major, that's 1 over 6. The probability of a biology major, now we did this problem before, that was simply 1/3. Okay, so here the probability of finding a biology major or a business major is going to be the probability of that biology major plus the probability of the business major. Now for the probability of a biology major, instead of using that 1/3, I'm going to use that 40 over 120. Because there were 40 biology majors out of 120. Plus, the 20 business majors out of 120 will be 20 out of 120. Okay, so I'm using that because I want those denominators to be the same. So if I add 40 over 120 plus 20 over 120, that's going to be 60 over 120, which will reduce to 1/2. So here the probability of that the student will be a biology major or a business major will simply be 1/2.